Welcome to the Formula Loosh quarter season review of 2018. This is my 31st year of being obsessed with Formula 1, and we don't always get them, but what a strange year we are having. Hamilton annihilates everybody in qualifying in Australia, and I was ready to give up right then. But this year, the races have been affected by safety car interventions, masking the real quality of drivers and teams. Until Spain, of course. So, Kimi Räikkönen looked amazing in Australia, didn't he? And somehow, he still came third. Oh, his luck continues. That top three in Australia should have been Hamilton, Kimi, and a distant Vettel, who seemed out of sorts. But he lucked into the win via the virtual safety car. So we thought it was a lucky win, didn't we? But then he blitzed them all in Bahrain, and he looked good in China and Baku. But what goes around comes around, a saying he used in Melbourne against Hamilton. Now that bit him back, didn't it, after those early wins? Hamilton, on the other hand, has looked ordinary after Australia, overall being outpaced and outqualified by Bottas. Now, the Bottas is only good when Hamilton is not on form tag has been reinforced. After, ironically, Bottas, leading in Baku, suffered a puncture, handing the win to Hamilton, which only fired him up to do his back-to-form dominance thing in Spain. Somehow, Hamilton is killing it in the championship after only really looking amazing in 2 of the first 5 races. As for Bottas, well, he has been the star of the season so far if you ask me, and yes, even after his Australian qualifying debacle. That crash would have ruined a weaker man's confidence, but Bottas has been pretty damn consistent, but very unlucky. Another irony, he has been castigated since Bahrain for not having a go at Vettel for the lead. But nobody seems to be having a go at Vettel for doing the same thing, in reverse, trying to take the lead, and going off, which cost him a win and a podium. Strange, isn't it, how perception can cause people to overlook things like that. Let's move on to Red Bull. Oh my goodness. Daniil Kvyat was kicked out of Red Bull Racing for way less than what Max has done recently. But I guess it works both ways, as Max has at least won races. There is a saying that it is easier to tame a wild horse than to make a slow horse fast. Copyright dodgy recollections of famous sayings. Having said that, Max is the real deal, but alarmingly arrogant in the same way Schumacher and Senna were, and all three spoke in the same language, that of a sociopathic non-empath who sees nothing wrong with their driving style and freely admits that they are not going to change it. It works at times, so all is forgiven when you can win as well. But Max is a little shite. Love him or hate him, he is mega, but a little entitled brat who owns Red Bull much the same way Vettel used to. So, Daniel Ricciardo, get the beep out of there. They ain't ever going to pay you what you're worth. You will never be an equal number one, no matter what Horn Dog says. And what happened in Baku is once again all the proof you will ever need. Ha! Max hits you twice in the race when you are faster, and then moves twice, forcing a crash. Yet you both have to apologise as Hornbag does a Toto and acts for the camera like a team boss with clout, though he has none. Oh, Danny, go anywhere. Just get out of Red Bull Racing. They are going to take Honda anyway, and Max will be humbled while you win a title or 3. Listeners, if you have not gathered, I do not have any respect for the puppet Christian Horner. Come on, Seb, this is silly. Some things cannot be forgiven. On to Fernando Alonso. Oh, Fernando, you are playing the team game more than I have ever seen, but claiming to be happy with a car that lucks into 7th place? This is BS, and we all know it. You are miserable, fed up, and rightly so. I would drive for Force India, even Renault. It is time to leave, mate. Just don't leave Formula 1. You are still my favourite. Speaking of Renault, they are looking good, and they look like they're heading in the right direction. But saying that is like giving everybody a ribbon for participating, and getting there isn't enough. Come on, Renault, you have the money, a great looking car, and personnel who know how to win. But for goodness sake, Pretty Boy Saints is not as good as everybody says, and though I love the Hulk, he always throws away positions higher than 5th, and after his joke drive at Baku last year, missing an opportunity, he did it again this year at Baku. I was gobsmacked. Renault, fork out the money and get some fresh talent and start winning again. Get it? Got it? Good. So let's move on to Williams. Okay, next, let's move on to Toro Rosso. No. Williams. My heart is breaking. But what the fooga nooga are you doing, Claire Williams? Oh, you gotta go. Yes, you're cute and you carry the family name, but oh man, you guys have a great sponsor, a great engine, great personnel. Hire a driver, for goodness sake. And while I'm ranting, hey Ferrari, I hear rumours are that you are cheating again. Something to do with the battery. Nothing new. But if you're so good at cheating, can't you give Kimi a car that works on most weekends? Stop screwing his races up so that Vettel can benefit from them and then even screw his own races up at times. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about Toro Rosso Honda. Talk about a flash in the pan, but an exciting flash indeed at Bahrain. Gasly, to me, has been a pretty boy with a mouth so far in his career, but that drive was mega. But to cross the line and then say, now we can fight, winding up Nando and McLaren was a dumb move after only one good result. I feel for Hartley, he ain't no slouch, but he is taking too long to get with the program, and Red Bull have a history of shafting drivers who struggle. He may not last this year. Sauber Alfa Romeo. It's good to see them starting to rise from the ashes, but again, one good result, a new paint job and an engine name change doesn't make a season. Doesn't Leclerc look like Bianchi? Amazing resemblance, and he might just end up at Ferrari, although he looked all at sea in his first few races. Moneyman Ericsson finally scored too, but seriously, without money he wouldn't have lasted a season in Formula 1, and he has been around now for years. At least he fixed his teeth, a trend that most drivers, except the Hulk, with the perfect hair, seem to follow. Now, if Hulk fixed his teeth, I think I would have a man crush. Haas, so much promise, so much talk. Oh my goodness, and Grosjean, what is going on? We should change his name to Roman, what's going on? You know? Magnussen still seems to be not using his mirrors, too busy being pleasured by the Hulk, I guess, but at least he is pulling in the points. I wonder how many got that joke. So, 2018. At this point, it looks like Hammy is going to go on a run, as he does so often. But he will bore us to tears yet again with his many dodgy best fans comments and equally crappy fake hairstyles. But it has been an up and down season in the first 5 races, so anything is possible. Red Bull do show signs of hope, and really, had they been reliable and had got Max out of nappies, they might have been much higher in the points. Overall, it looks like being another Ferrari versus Mercedes year. 16 races to go. That used to be a full season, and I recall seasons like 91, where Senna won 4 in a row, only for Mansell to start winning. And then things can change just like that, again. Who knows, Red Bull might find a mid-season surge and ruin their chances by constantly cleaning up after Max instead of toilet training him. Hey, check out the Inside Line Formula 1 podcast. I have been following Canal and Mathila for years, and this year have had the privilege of providing them with the soundtrack for their podcast. Here it is for those who have not heard it. These guys are hilarious, but laugh at your peril, because like the smiling Ricardo, the honey badger, these guys mean business and pack a mean punch, especially Mathila. This is the Formula Loosh podcast. I am Lucien Byfield in South Australia. Ciao for now, Formula 1 lovers.